We can fill up all the prisons. We can build 1 million more prisons and fill them all up. We'll never stop the cycle of violence. This is a union position I'm now going to articulate, unless we invest in the health and the skills and the intellect and the character of our children. Focus on a good education, good health care, and a good job. That's what the United States of America is about.
Paul Wellstone was a different kind of politician. He started as a teacher and organizer in rural Minnesota, fighting for farmers, minorities, workers, and people who didn't have a voice in politics.
Is that a problem for families still feeding the children?
He wasn't slick or fancy, and he didn't need a poll to figure out what he believed.
We moved to a national standard, colleagues, in the early 1970s because we had children with distended bellies in our country. We had malnourishment and hunger in America, and we said as a national community we do not let that happen. And now we're turning the clock back. And for the first time in 60 years, we move away from that commitment. This is a profound mistake for America.
In 1990, Wellstone ran for United States Senate against a popular Republican incumbent. He knew he could win only by using his organizing skills. What did that mean in a campaign? Going directly to the voters by door knocking, phone calling, traveling the state and meeting with people face to face. Always he spoke clearly about his core values.
It's that while I'm in Washington, D.C., I can continue to say, and more importantly by my actions, convey to young people and everywhere in Minnesota that politics is indeed not about money and power games, but the improvement of people's lives.
And his message captured voters' imagination.
Unlike my opponent, I don't have $6 million, so I'm going to have to talk fast. This is my wife, Sheila, and our children. This is my house in Northfield, where I've lived for 21 years. My son, David, farms, and I've worked with Minnesota farmers for years. We must stop the poisoning of the air and the land and the water.
He had virtually no money, a staff of mostly volunteers, and little name recognition. But he built a massive grassroots movement, and he won.
Our exit polls show that you have won.
Is that right?
53 to 47 is what they're telling me.
Okay, well that sounds pretty good.
During 12 years in the United States Senate, Wellstone stood up for his beliefs and fought for a populist, progressive agenda.
I just feel like acting now on our own might be a sign of our power. Acting sensibly and in a measured way, in concert with our allies, with bipartisan congressional support, would be a sign of our strength.
I have to only do what my head and heart and soul tell me is the right thing to do. That's all I can do.
Minnesotans didn't always agree with Wellstone, but they didn't need to. They valued his honesty, and they always knew he cared about regular people.
I'm a Republican, but I'm supporting you. Yeah. Not on the single issue.
Well, I'm a Democrat and I'm supporting you.
Yeah.
He's the one candidate that I trust and that I find is honest and that has heart and follow through.
The key to Wellstone's success was his connection with a broad base of supporters. As an organizer and later as a politician, Wellstone built relationships within communities and learned firsthand what was going on in people's lives. From farmers and laborers to environmentalists and immigrants, people often said of Wellstone, he was one of us, and they were right.
Hey, look at these guys all dressed up. Look at
Wellstone believed the progressive movement has three parts: grassroots organizing, good public policy, and electoral politics. He was a great example of how to do all three.
I think they all go together. I think electoral politics without grassroots organizing is a politics without a base. I think grassroots organizing without electoral politics can be a marginal politics. And I think electoral politics and grassroots organizing without policy and program is a movement without a direction and without a head. And so I think you have to put those ingredients together. That's pretty much what I've tried to do as a teacher and political activist over the years.
Paul Wellstone cared deeply about the future of the progressive movement, and he dedicated much of his career to developing new organizers. Wellstone knew he stood on the shoulders of history's great progressives. Now he too belongs to history. But he was always a teacher, and he's still showing us how to fight for a better world.
The future will not belong to those who stand on the sidelines. The future will belong to those who are willing to work hard for what they believe in. The future will belong to those who believe in the beauty of their dreams. I want you to believe in the beauty of your dreams. I thank you.